Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why the world needs an apocalypse. And reason number 1 is because Generation X was promised an apocalypse since the day we were born. We grew up during the Cold War, and we were promised an ice age, and Y2K was supposed to take down everything, and the ozone layer isn't supposed to exist right now. Supposed to have several nuclear wars throughout our lives, pandemics, epidemics, scamdemics, chicken pox, monkey pox. Just every single thing that you can think of. We can't forget global warming, global cooling, the energy crisis. We were supposed to run out of oil about 30 or 40 years ago. And they've just been trying to scare us with it, with one form of apocalypse or another for our entire lives. And so we eventually just came to expect it, you know. I mean, we, at least in the back of our minds, a lot of us thought that the world was going to end pretty quick and we were going to be living in some cool-ass Mad Max, scenario. So, yeah, that's the first one I would say. They've been promising us an apocalypse for, 50, 60 years, and they owe us one. So let's get this thing started. Where's it at? Show us the money. Show us. It's time to do. Quit talking about the end of the world. It's time to end this bitch, and and we'll deal with the aftermath. The second thing is that with all this robotic AI shit coming on, the future we're headed for is a dystopian future, some kind of bullshit, government controlling, business oligarch controlling future. And that scenario is just not appealing to me. I don't want, the world to be run by robots. I don't want to go to a restaurant and be served by a robot. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want robots patrolling the streets and, as police. I don't want a robot army. I don't want any of that shit. One, it doesn't make sense for humanity, to be controlled and serviced by a bunch of inanimate objects. That you think about that, and it's just stupid. I mean, honestly, how else are we gonna say that? It's stupid. It doesn't. What's the reason? Are we that lazy? Humanity, humankind, are we that damn lazy where we have to have robots do everything for us? Are we just going to lay in bed and have the robots bring our food and wipe our asses for us and, read us a bedtime story, and we're just going to become vegetables? Where does that end? Where do we draw the line and say, okay, let's do some stuff, let's be physical, let's go outside, let's do some shit. And yeah, that's great in a way. Robots will free up our time so that we can enjoy time outside, and we can go to the park and take walks and shit. But humanity doesn't do that. All this technology was supposed to free up a bunch of our time, and we got busier. We have less time because of this technology. Now everybody's addicted to their cell phones, and they've got to keep up with their posts and their clicks and their viral this and their, who they hate and who they support now and all this stuff online. And they can't get up off their couch to do anything now. And work is a constant everyday thing. You can literally bring work home with you now. So or you can work from home. there's a blending of work and home environment now, so you're just always on the clock. And I don't like that kind of shit. It was a lot simpler when, when you were home, and that was your home life, and you went to work, and the two were separate, and you didn't have to worry about that shit. I would turn my brain off as soon as I clocked out, and I wouldn't think about work again until I got to work the next day. That's difficult to do now. You got to check your emails and your texts and your posts and your whatever, your Facebook groups or your TikTok videos, whatever it is, all that bullshit. It's constant, it's unending. So just from the recent past, from what I've seen, I tend to highly doubt that the advent of cybernetics and AI and robots will give us more free time, because technology hasn't given us more free time in the past. Number 3 is just that governments suck. Come on, we know this. Every government, the Australian government, the United Kingdom government, the Indian government, you name it, the German government, the United States government especially, they suck. They rob us, they lie to us, they pander, they propagandize, they foment war. Everything that we don't want, that's what the government does. Everything. They break shit. They don't fix anything ever. Never, not once have I seen a government entity fix a problem. Never. I mean, maybe I'm living in some kind of bubble and I'm not aware of all of the great, wonderful things that the governments do around the world. But from what I see, they're nothing but war and poverty and lies, deceit, theft. This is what we get from our governments. And humanity deserves better. I'll just be honest. We deserve an apocalypse. That's better than this bullshit government shit the government throws at us, stuff down our throats. I'd rather be free in an apocalypse and, take my chances than be constantly lied to and, berated. And it's just bullshit. We see all these people sending other people's kids off to die in wars, and that's just okay. That's normal. That's okay. That's how it's supposed to be, right? Well, why wasn't it like that in the past? Why did generals go out on the battlefield and actually do stuff in the past? Why did George Washington lead troops in a battle? Why? Can you see Trump or Biden leading troops in a battle? No. So, yeah, a lot of stuff has changed and the government sucks. Everybody's government across Western civilization and across the world, as far as I'm concerned, they're impoverishing their populations, lying to their populations, and a nice old-fashioned apocalypse would set shit right. Number 4 is that because of the things I've mentioned earlier, people are just getting dumber. They're getting stupider. I don't know what else to say about that. That's just point of fact, point blank truth. People are getting stupider. Especially here in America, maybe in Australia or Norway or somewhere, people are getting smarter. I can't say talk about any other country on this topic, but American people are just getting dumber. We're headed toward idiocracy. They can't spell, they can't write. All they can do is click buttons on a phone. No common sense. They can't build anything. They can't fix anything. They can't do anything. And it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get any better the way we're headed. It can't get better because people are too stupid to make it better. They're too stupid to even realize that there could be a better. They think this is what it is, and they think they're smart. And that's one of the things that the hallmarks of stupidity is to believe that you're smart. right? You don't realize how stupid you are. And that's one thing I pride myself on, is I realize how stupid I am. I really do. I realize I'm not the sharpest tack in the shed. And so I try to use common sense instead of high intellect. I'm not known for my high intellect, but I think that is a real point in making there, that all these super intelligent people, they think they're intelligent, but in real life, in real application of that intelligence, and the way you use that intelligence to solve problems in real life, they're actually stupid, and that you can't fix stupid. They have to fix it themselves. They have to realize just how stupid they are and try to change it. And number 5 is globalism. Just purely simplified globalism. It's bad for humanity. It's bad for the individuals of each country. It's bad for nationalism, of course. It's just bad. It's bad for the poor common person, the working person in every single country in Western civilization anyway. They're destroying our civilization with this shit. They've gone a long way toward destroying America with this shit, sent all of our jobs overseas, just taxing us to death. I mean, and it's all for the sake of, we're being told that, us poor people should be thankful for it because we can buy cheap Chinese shit. We can afford cheap Chinese shit. Yeah, I can buy some cheap plastic Chinese shit. You're right, but I don't have a job. So what's the point in having a bunch of cheap plastic shit on the store shelves when I don't have a job to go buy the shit anyway? It's utterly ridiculous. It's moronic, but it's happening, and it's not slowing down. It's not reversing. It's not changing. It's gaining momentum. Globalism is coming at us like a train coming down the tracks, and we're standing there on the oblivious, standing there on the tracks, oblivious. We're not going to really know until it runs us over. So. Yeah, this whole globalism idea, it's really making the ultra rich ultra richer, and it's making all the common working people, putting us into the poor class. So instead of raising the poor class up into the working class and enriching some of the working class, it's completely anti-human. It's anti working man. It's anti-population. It's anti-everything that it means to be human, that it means to be a citizen of a country, that it means to be free and prosperous. And a nice warm apocalypse would solve that, bring that shit to a screeching halt. I'll say it, I'd rather fare, take a chance faring on my own stupidity and my own wits and ability in perfect freedom than I would, being shoved into this weird AI robotic globalist future that we're headed for. It sucks, and I don't like it. And I'll leave you there with that. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, I'll leave that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there, or you can head over to Buy Me a Coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I appreciate those of you who do that, and I'll leave that link down in the description as well. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there at Redbubble. Gen X Thinks and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, coffee mugs, hoodies, all kinds of cool stuff over there. But I'll leave that link down in the description for any of you who are interested. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out one hell of a lot, so thank you very much to those of you who do that. I really do appreciate it. If you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comments. Or you can email us, and the email is genxthinks@gmail.com. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.